Hey, it is an amazing day, and we are doing a lot of things. It's also National Day of Prayer. So if you're a believer, this is a big deal. And you know what? If you're not, there's a really good chance you probably have spent time in prayer. There is a crazy statistic recently done that 44% of Americans are wanting to know more about Jesus. They literally went and said, I am in need of Jesus. 44% of Americans. And so that is wild to think that America has come to a place, which I absolutely love. If there's an opportunity to be more effective, to have a higher quality of life, and people are like, hey, I don't know who Jesus is or what it is, and I've got a small business, I've got a big business, but 44% of people are saying, I need more of Jesus in my life. That's incredibly wild, which is really cool, though. But listen, couple of shout-outs today. A couple of shout-outs with National Day of Prayer. That's a big one. Meade County Christian School, the Christian school here that's making a difference. It's growing. It's incredible. Enrollment is through the roof. 100% retention rate for educators coming back. Journey Church of Brandenburg, Dunkin' Donuts. We've got a lot of people that are getting in on what's going on here at the Messenger Studio. So anyways, if you are new to the podcast, hey, how are you? Ryan Franks. I am here to help you bring fresh content every other week on Thursdays at 2 p.m. for a couple of reasons. One, to simplify the process when it comes to systems. You probably are an amazing business person, or you probably have incredible dreams, and you're thinking, how do I get from point A to point B? And kind of something that I would like to share with you. Do I call myself an influencer? I do not. Somebody who's been preaching and teaching and doing business for 20 years. Let me share just a little bit of advice and counsel. The difference between a dream, which everybody has dreams, the difference between a dream and a vision like which is coming true, it happened, is an action plan. Let me help you take the process, the complicated process, because if you go on any kind of social media right now, Instagram, Twitter, which is X now, Facebook, you name it, whatever it is, TikTok, you have so many people that are trying to tell you how to be filthy rich. They're giving these false impressions that they've made it, that they've got the life, that they're like early 20s, that they're visiting all these beaches, that they have no responsibility. They get thousands and thousands of likes. They're finding their worth and how many followers do they have. That's not the real world. So if that's you, if you feel overwhelmed that you want to do something great with your life and that other people on social media have it, let me just tell you, they're probably broke, okay? They probably have no money, no business plan. They can't write an executive summary. They don't know how to go to investors. I want to help you, right, get to the place that you want to be. So I want to talk briefly about simplifying processes. I want to talk to you about your leadership traits, your leadership's, your ability to lead. Is it leading from the front of the pack? Is it leading from behind? We spoke recently last time about servanthood leadership, about being the person that comes and says, hey, what can I do for you? Not what can you do for the business, right? So let me just share a couple of things real fast as we're simplifying the process. But we have the mentality, right? As we simplify the process, think about this. As we simplify the process, you have the mentality of burning the ships. There is no retreat, right? And most businesses, and this is crazy, a new statistic just came out, 95% of American startup businesses fail. There's no way that the product that 95% of these businesses that failed were not good. There are some incredible products out there. There's incredible people. There's incredible services that are offered, and they fail. Why do they fail? Because there's no business plan. We dream, we rush, we say, hey, listen, I want to do this. It's a great idea. It's like this. It's like this. It's like this. We're just going to start. We're going to throw it on the floor, or we're going to throw it on the wall. Bunch of noodles. We'll see what sticks. And the thing is that after 30 days, guess what? It gets incredibly hard, and people say, hey, I'm tapping out. I'm done. I want to quit, right? And let me tell you, if you're a small business person and you're still in the game and you haven't broke even or made $1 in the last 2 years, don't quit. You're so close. You're so stinking close. It reminds me of a story. Let me share this with you. It reminds me of a story from the book of Daniel. Daniel he's absolutely torn. His heart is torn. His mind is torn. He is sorrowful. And he just, for whatever reason, he knows that he's got to stop eating and drinking. He's going to fast, or he's going to Daniel fast, if you will. It wasn't quite an absolute fast, is what you call it, but he was giving away. He was abstaining from food. He fasts for 21 days, and it was on 21 days that he got his answer. What would have happened if he quit fasting on day 20? That is the same mentality as you as a business. Hey, I'm not a believer. That's okay. Hear what I'm saying. I'm saying that if he had quit 1 day shy, 1 day short of what he was supposed to be doing, still grinding, still hustling, he would have not have got his miracle. He would have not have got his answer. And some of these things, when you're in a business, you're looking for a miracle. You're looking for a bailout. You're looking for people. And let's be honest, having people, the right people employed is everything. And it starts with you. If you cannot retain your employees, the problem is not them, the problem is you. You're struggling to foster a culture, a healthy one, of servanthood leadership. You can't employ people and demand and demand and demand. They were not born to make your business successful, but they will rally around you and support you, but they will support the person, not the business. And if you can get them to believe in the business, they believe in the business because they believe in you. When I opened our first Dunkin', I interviewed 250 people for a team of 15. I interviewed, and since then, I have continued to interview at least another 250. I have no doubt that we're coming up on the 600 mark of finding the right people, because you got to be friendly. You got to be quick. You got to be flexible. You got to be okay. But we foster a culture where people come in to our Dunkin' Donut and ask for prayer. You know why? One of the last statistics that came in for it's called OSAT, overall satisfaction. There was a comment. And usually when a comment comes in, somebody is not happy with their services. And the exact comment was, I feel like the Dunkin' family is closer to me than my own. And that is a testament. You know why? Because we foster a culture that loves people, and that is what you have to do. You have to love your employees, and you have to serve them. So with that said, simplifying the process, 44% of people are looking for Jesus. If you are a pastor, please hear that today. If you're a small business person, hear that also. What does that have to do with Jesus? People are looking. They're looking for more, right? Maybe you have something to offer. So businesses, simplifying process. We have the mentality of burning the ships. It's National Day of Prayer. That is a lot. So what does that all look like? Let me share something with you that I think would be a great resource for you, whether you're a pastor or business person. Years ago, I had the opportunity to partner with a phenomenal leader, the superintendent of the Assemblies of God for the entire Kentucky state, right? His name is Pastor Dr. Joseph S. Girdler, and we collaborated. We collaborated on, he wrote a couple books. I forwarded them, helped go through them, gave some content, gave some notes. Let me show this to you right here. This is called Setting the Atmosphere for the Day of Worship. If you're a small business owner and you're like, what on earth does that mean? This whole book that I just want to reach through just a couple things, is all about you're building an atmosphere for people to be effectively successful, right? So if you're a church and you're just like, what does that mean? Let me talk to you about the church. Let me talk to you about the business. I'll kind of do both a little bit. So the first thing is this. So like in this first book, Setting the Atmosphere for the Day of Worship, Chapter 2, it questions, it challenges, what are people feeling, thinking, and doing when they come to your business or your church for the first time? Are we comparing a church to a business? Absolutely not. No. That's very different. Is it nice to keep the lights on? Yeah, that's really great. Is it nice to keep the AC on when we're getting these hot summers just right now? Yes, but no matter where you are, think about what people are experiencing. It's called assimilation, right? When they are getting out of the car, right? If they're walking up to your business, what do they see first, right? Do they see a building that they notice from the road that said, if they take care of their building that well, I know that they'll take care of me. If you go to a business, it's ran down, it smells unique, it smells funny. The front person at the desk, it has a personality that you would probably pass on. Why would you give your money to them? Why would you give your time? Time is the only currency, right? Time is the only currency that you can never get back, that you constantly spend with or without your permission. Why go to that church? Why go to that business? What are they offering? Now, on the church side, the biblical perspective is, what can we do to serve the local church, not what can the local church do for us. And I think that is something that we really need to hit on, right? So you have the church side on making sure that preparations are ready for the congregation to come in, for the Sunday mornings, the Wednesday nights, whenever you guys meet. But when they come in, though, let me just do this quick little share for those that are attending a church. If you go to a church and you say, what does a church have to offer me? What product are they offering? What is better than the local church on the street? You're going to church for the absolute wrong reason. That is so wildly true. They have a better this, but they have better worship, but they have better lights. All things that probably do not matter when you get to the throne of Jesus Christ someday. But that doesn't mean that the church does not have a responsibility to take care of what God has put into their possession. The leadership, all pastors should be treating their staff with the utmost respect. There should be kindness, there should be fruits, there should be evidence, fruit of the Spirit, but it doesn't mean like a $10 million building is going to be the difference of a successful church or an unsuccessful church. But as a business or as a church, what are people experiencing when they come to your building, when the doors open up? Is there a smile? Is there a greeter? Are the phones ringing? Is your attention distracted by somebody else instead of the person that's coming through the door? So as we're kind of walking through setting the atmosphere for the day of worship, think about that. Think about your building, your office, your doors, your staff. Is it somebody you would introduce to somebody for first impressions? Because remember, people make a decision in the first 7 seconds of seeing, hearing, or smelling your place, right? And the longer you're in your place, your business or your church, the quicker you will be desensitized to the first impressions. If you are there for more than 30 to 60 days, you will lose the fresh perspective of what people are seeing for the first time. And then if that's not important to you, if changing some things for the first impressions is not important to you, you will see a negative result because of that, because they'll say, if that doesn't make a difference to him, it's going to make a difference to me, and that is not something that I'm interested in. So think about that today. What does your place represent when people walk through the door? Also, dress attire. Dress attire. Dress for the job that you want. Dress for the product that you're selling. If you are trying to do sales and you're rolling in with baggy jeans and and listen, I'm not opposed to jewelry. I'm not opposed to tattoos and everything. Just remember, we live in a super judgmental world. Should it be like that? It should not be like that. But if you are asking for somebody to entrust you with their children or their pets, maybe you're boarding your pet, or you're asking for a loan or something, how you look is another first impression. So whether you have jewelry, whether you have tattoos, whether you got hair, whatever, be presentable. Let me share something with you that so we probably interview 25 to 30 people a week between just one or two of the Duncans that we own. And I have one little gimmick that I will use in the very beginning of the interview to see if this is worth my time. And here it is, and maybe I can share it with you. I will always offer them a free drink, right? They roll in. Are they on time? Are they dressed appropriately? They sit down. Do they shake my hand? Do they look at me in the eyes? Do they speak somewhat with confidence? And I don't even mind if it's their first job, right? I don't even mind that. There's no judgment there. If I ask them, can I get you a drink? And they say no, to me, that is a huge thing because they're there for business. If I have somebody that says, I would like a water, absolutely. That's somebody who's not going to take advantage of the products because I can only have the cameras on for so long. I can only do so much to protect the business. If I have somebody that comes in and orders like the largest, most expensive double shot latte, I know right off the top of my head that interview is not going to work out. Why? They're not there to see what they can bring to the table. They're there of what they can get out of it. Same thing when you're an employee. Know who you're employing. Know that they're going to be a partner and a team player. Even Starbucks, right? Which I would never advise you to go to Starbucks. But even Starbucks doesn't call their employees. They call them partners. There's something with the word. Are you going to partner with me? So hear this, business owners. You don't have employees. You have family. You have staff. You have partners. You have investors. If you treat them like an employee where they're just expendable, they're going to walk. They're going to walk, and retaining somebody is way cheaper than hiring somebody new. All right, so keep that in mind. So what do people see? What do people look at when they come to your place? How are we presenting ourselves, right? Are you on social media? 95% of startup companies are going to not make it this year. And I guarantee you they have a great product. They have an amazing product, but nobody knows anything about it. So if you're not on social media, and honestly, at the end of the day, and I know what you're thinking, we have our customer base because of word of mouth. And yes, that is forever going to be the greatest way to build your business is quality of service and word of mouth. But in the process, though, you want to extend your net as large as you can to catch as much as you can, right? For a reasonable social media price, and most social medias are absolutely free. Be active. And it's not about the quality of the post that you're posting. Hear that. People think that you have to have like all these social media managers. It's repertoire. How much are you posting? Ryan, I'm not going to sit here all day on my phone and gillygag and just post. But you know what, though? When your posts start hitting 1,500 views, people are going to notice. And once that algorithm in the social media picks up, you're going to start getting responses. You're going to start getting messages. You're going to start getting DMs. And I'm telling you, it'll be worth your time. And it's all free. So utilize your time wisely. Here's another thing I want to help you leaders, right? Your finances. Your finances is everything. Your finances is the difference of you having an open business or a closed business. Your finances, churches, are the difference of having open doors or closed doors. People don't know how to budget. Everybody's on a budget. You could have $10 million and you are still on a budget. Do you know why? Let me share this with you. Do you know why? I'm not going to say a percentage because I don't know it confidently, but I assure you that most lottery winners today are broke or they're dead. They're broke or they're dead. They're broke because they won something they had no business winning, and even when they got it, they didn't know how to manage it, and everybody came out of the woodworks and started saying, I'm your friend, give me. And when you have $10 million, you can give away $1 million and not really feel it, but you begin to do that time and time again. You get down to your last. First of all, when you win the lottery, you're going to give majority of that to the Biden administration or whoever administration of that. And remember, and this is really important for you business owners, right now, inflation is worse than ever before. Do you want to know why Tesla and Amazon are leaving the West Coast? Because taxes are 10% out there. Income taxes on their businesses are 10%, the highest ever. It's like 11%. We're paying more today than we ever have. It is impossible for millennials right now to live. And that is what I simply hear all the time in interviews. Because I'll ask them, you've got Taco Bell, you've got Wendy's, you've got Long John's, you've got White Castle, you've got McDonald's, you've got Burger King. You have every single fast food joint on the Corden Strip. Why are you here at Dunkin'? And you know what they say, millennials? We're just trying to find a job so we can just live. So business owners, whether you resonate with a biblical perspective viewpoint, it is in your best interest not to vote Democrat this year. If you want your business to stay alive, the reason multi-billion-dollar businesses like Amazon and Tesla are moving to Texas and Miami is because those are red states. And those people moving are blue people. Hold on. Did you hear that? Democratic businesses. Tesla's got a pretty good head on their shoulders, right? But blue businesses are leaving blue states for red states so that because they see the business opportunity. So when it comes to November, it is if your business wants to stay open, because Kentucky is one of the highest taxes for certain things. I used to live in Chicago, and I pay well over double the amount for my car tax than I do in Chicago, here in Kentucky. It was like $60, and I think coming here for car tax was like $250. Well over quadruple the amount, right? Now, if I'm wrong in that stat, I'll come back in a couple of weeks and I'll eat that. But I am certain that I've heard my wife on dozens of accounts talk to me about how much more it is here for car tax. And it's because that the vehicle accidents is so much more detrimental here. In Chicago, it's just fender bender, fender bender, fender bender. But here, it's like these massive things. So remember that. And also, you need to vote. You've got to vote. Remember that. You've got to vote. You've got to vote. And that is important. So when it comes to your business, protect your family. You need to vote red this upcoming November. Even if you disagree with Republicans, you need to vote for it, okay? Your business depends on it. So as we're kind of talking about setting the atmosphere, do you want your business to stay alive? You need to keep money in it. Let's talk about finances. Do you have a budget? You need to have a budget. You have to have a budget. If you don't have a budget, then you don't know where your money's going. And then you can't name your dollar bills. And if you can't name your dollar bills, then they're walking off doing their own thing. And if you don't know where they're going, because I hear that all the time, Ryan, I don't know where my money went. Did you give them names? I did not give them names. Did you zero out your balance, out your budget? What is zeroing out your budget? Every place for a budget has a, or every dollar for a budget has a place. It's going to go to the building that you're going to go in. It's going to be up for the for the cost of materials. It's going to be for your labor. It's going to be for your payroll. It's going to be for your expenses. It's going to be for the electric, utilities. You go all the way down. Ryan, we're clearing 10 grand a month. That's awesome. Where does that $10,000 go? Well, why do I need to place anywhere? Because it will be spent if you don't. Savings. Hey, rainy day funds. Have you ever had one? I have them all the time. And I don't ever have to go home and say, we have no money, because we always stick funds away in a rainy day. So here's something interesting. I want to share this with you. I was talking to my, he's called my network pastor. Pastor Joe S. Girdler is my personal pastor, right? He pastors me. Let me share with you why this book is important. You can get this off Amazon. I'm not selling this to you, but this book will change the way that you look at your business and your church. Let me just say this. Not only is this sold everywhere, but it's also being translated in other countries. There are 2,000 copies of this book that are being translated into Aramaic, right? Aramaic right now for the Live Dead project in Egypt, right? Don't know about Live Dead? Google it. It's awesome. This book also has 2,000 copies of the Spanish version being used in Guatemala right now. This book also is in academic studies and is being used for PhD. Why are you telling me this? Because I want you to know that this book has been proven. It's been sought after. It's been edited. It's been revised in some areas, and it is awesome. And it is super affordable. It's like $10, I think. It's an easy read. It's like a little over 100 pages. So if you are looking to invest in something that's going to grow your church or grow your business, do this. And if you know me personally in town, come by. I'll give you a free copy. All right. I'm interested in simplifying the process for you. Okay. So just a couple more things real fast, and then we're going to wrap up for the day a little bit. Okay. Let me share this. As a person who loves business, I love doing business. I love doing numbers. I don't know why. It just kind of came with the territory. Let me define two things that you need to aggressively think about if you're moving forward with your business. Your what and your why. Why are you doing your what? If you can't define your why, your what will not matter. Here's an example. January 19th of every single year, over 85% of New Year's resolutions die. Do you know why that is? Because people are making a decision on what they want to do the day before New Year's Day instead of the why. And what is the one thing you always make a resolution about? I don't even have to hear you. I know what you're thinking. You want to lose weight and you want to make more money, okay? You want to lose weight because you know the what. You know that you should. You know that you'll be leaner. But why are you doing it? Are you doing it to be healthier? Are you ready for the meal preps? Are you ready to be more administrative in your business? Are you looking to expand your product line? Are you looking to employ? Are you looking to take the risk and grow? What you want to do, no problem. I hear the what all the time. Do you know the why? And that's what I would challenge you with. Don't go to the product that you're going to sell. Go to the why you're selling it. Why are you wanting to bring on people? Why are you wanting to expand? Why are you even in the game? And if you can't explain that, then that is a great, humbling place to be. Why am I doing this? Because I know some people, I know some businesses that have a great product and a great staff, but it's falling apart because they don't know the why. They just know the what. They were easily inspired. They were encouraged. They thought they can do it. And maybe they can do all of that. But unless you know in your bones the why, unless you are willing to burn the ships and have systems in place, there's no retreat. And people that don't know the why and go straight to the what are the ones that retreat, and they are a part of the statistics of 95% of businesses failing this upcoming year. They know the what, but they don't know the why. So why am I starting this business? What is my business going to be? How am I going to do it? And I leave you with this thought. There is a certain kind of mentality. There's a certain kind of spirit. I don't mean like a spirit, right? You need the spirit of excellence. You need to get up at 5. You need to hit the gym. You need to have that coffee. You need to read that word. You need to spend time in prayer. You need to know exactly what you're wearing, where you're going, what you're doing, who you're doing it with, and what meetings are on the books, and what is worth your time. Spirit of excellence. Quit allowing corners to be cut. Invest in people. Invest in yourself. Get right with the Lord, right? And he will show you favor. Let me share this. Do I have that verse? I might have that verse. Proverbs 17:27. Knowledge and understanding are two close words that explain the manifestation of the spirit of excellence. Get your nose in the Word of God. Pick up one of these copies if you want to invest in your business or the church, and I will bring you some fresh content of simplifying the process, burning the ships, no retreat, in a couple of weeks on the Ryan Franks Business and Leadership Podcast, all the way from the Messenger Studios right here in Brandenburg. Thank you for taking the time. I look forward to investing into you in a couple of weeks. Blessings.